celebrity justice.
Keep your eyes on the road, cowboy.
Getting nervous?
Too Fast, Too Furious, the blockbuster street racing sequel, took in more than $125 million, but talked about a drag. A guy says Universal lifted the idea from him, and now he wants payback.
You're in.
It blew away moviegoers with radical street racing scenes. It gave Vin Diesel a supercharged start to his movie career. But the Fast and the Furious only infuriated this street racer.
They took my work, spliced it, did whatever they could to try to, throw me off and camouflage it. But I recognized my baby.
Ray Anthony Williams is suing Universal because he claims the studio ripped off his script called Bet, based on his real-life experiences as an outlaw street racer, and turned it into The Fast and the Furious.
Went to the movie. I began to try and take notes, but it was so overwhelming, I just threw my pen and legal pad, just threw everything to the floor. It hurts, man.
Williams claims he was working as a messenger for a courier service when he met a Universal Studios employee who agreed to try to get a green light from the studio. Williams believes producers read his script and liked it enough to steal it. About a year later, the movie came out.
I was in my car, and I turned the radio on. I hear Vin Diesel reciting some of my dialogue. We're speaking verbatim, word for word. There was the infamous line, the catchphrase, 10 seconds or less. I looked on page 6, line 16, 17, there it was right there. I need 10 seconds or less.
So at the suggestion of his producing partner, Andre Alexin, Williams contacted the studio. Incredibly, they say the studio ignored them and raced ahead with a sequel, Too Fast, Too Furious. So Williams sued over both films.
They said, well, it's somewhat different. And I said to them, well, you know what? You can steal a man's car. You can paint it another color. You can put different rims on it. It still belongs to the man who has the pink, and he's got the pink in the title.
Now, Williams and Alexin, who race classic cars, are planning to make Bet on their own. They'll star in it themselves, and they say they'll do it the right way. Not with the Japanese vehicles Universal used, but with good old American muscle.
They could put any of those guys in any of the cars that was in that film. I'll pick out one of my little puppies right here. We can get the president, see if we can get us a permit. We can set up a quarter mile, and we can do the thing. They show me what's fast and what they think is furious. I'm gonna show you what to bet on. This is the way we ride right here, man.
And Universal says it does not comment on...
Anyway, this is my life story, and this bothers me tremendously because you gotta understand this is my life history. I've been street racing ever since I was 3, 4 years old. My parents, we're from Little Rock, Arkansas, and they used to street race. What my dad would do, he would allow me to get in the back seat. I mean, I'm just a little kid. I could stand in the back, stand in the back seat. And whenever he had a race, he would put me back there. Ray, you want to ride, son? You want to see how Daddy shift these gears? Yes, sir, Daddy. I want to know. Teach me. And I kid you not, it was like a good old school Western. People would hear about our family race car. They come by, knowing where we live, or found out somehow, some shape, form, or fashion. And we heard about this 68 Chevelle SS Malibu. We want to try you. And what my dad would do, he'd invite him inside the car first. He said, I'll race you, but before I beat you, I'm going to give you a fair warning. I'll give you a fair chance. He said, come get in my car. He said, I want you to see for yourself how my car responds. And if you still feel you can beat it, then I'll tell you what. You want to take that chance and race me, you can. What my dad would do, he would take a $100 bill and he'd sit that $100 bill on the dashboard, right in front of the passenger seat. Bam. He said, I'll tell you what, when you reach for that $100 bill, he said, that's when I'm going to take off. He said, now, if you can reach and get that $100 bill before I get to the finish line, he said, it's yours. And maybe, just maybe, you got a chance you could beat my car. He says, but however, if you can't get that $100 bill, then you don't have a chance. And you'll know right then and there that you will not be able to beat my car. So we'd be at the starting line. He positioned himself, he put the car in gear. He raised the R's up a little bit, the RPMs a little bit, probably like 7, 8 grand. And he would tell the passenger, now go ahead, reach for it whenever you're ready. And when they would reach for it, that's when my father would dump that clutch and he put that pedal to the metal. And as he's driving that car, he would speed shift those gears. And all the while, I'm standing in the back seat, just watching my dad do his thing. And sure enough, they would not be able to get the $100 bill. And some, like my dad said, they were not racing. Then there were some who would take their chance and they would racing. Either way, they still would lose. Because my dad had the baddest car around, a 68 Chevelle SS Malibu. And it didn't matter. If it wasn't my dad, it was my mother. They called her Miss 4-Speed. I remember Mildred and John Jernigan, family friends. John Jernigan, he was an auto mechanic, and he helped my dad build that race car. So at an early age, I saw what it was like to, snatch a motor out, to rebuild the engine, bore out the, the journals, the piston journals, almost like big Folger-sized coffee cans of sized pistons they would put into that block. So as I'm going over this and sharing this with you, I want you to understand that that's where I got my creativity to write and create, my feature film script entitled Bet. This is my life. This is my DNA. This is what I do. So for Universal to come around with the Fast and the Furious and got everyone thinking they're the original writers and creators of this work, man, it's all a lie. This is what I do. This is my work. And I can't even begin to get you to understand how it feels. You can never imagine how it feels for you to build a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Then have these people just take it from you because they feel they're a big conglomerate company. Attorneys, get intimidated. But dude, I'm not scared, man. Dude, this is what I do. You got Vin Diesel, yeah, he's an actor. Hey, I'm a professional actor also. I'm SAG. As an African American, it's hard to get work. So I feel, I write my own work. I can write. See, that's the difference with me. I create my own works, then I star in my own works. So that's what I did. I wrote a feature film script based on my life history. And my first time out, it turned out to be a billion-dollar franchise. Man, come on, man. Vin Diesel walking around, got that swag, this, that, and the other. Man, all those characters, Vin Diesel's character, Dominic Toretto, Paul Walker's character. They got the new film Fast 5 coming out, with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. All those characters are a combination of my characters. Now, any of you cats are me, man. This is all me. And as we get more into detail, I'm going to show you, proof and documentation where all that came from. I have what you call a comparison list. And a little later, I'm going to show clips of the film. Then I'm going to show you, the guide, which is my comparison list, which has a page number and a line number. And then I'm going to show you the material, whatever's in that film, whatever scene that is, or whatever action takes place. I'm going to show you where they got it from out of my script. But fast forward, I end up getting counsel. I had an attorney briefly. All of a sudden, shortly after my deposition, I get a call. He can't go no further. Ray, that's it. Come get your documents, this, that, and the other. Honestly, I know in my heart of hearts, Universal got to him. Because we had a deposition. Gail McDowell Title, Universal lead attorney, she conducted that deposition. And even though it was my deposition, but however, she was the one that was sitting in the hot seat. Every 3 or 4 questions she would ask me, it would get to some point where she'd have to excuse herself because she couldn't handle the fire. The fact that I'm the original right creator, every question she asked, I had an answer for. So again, this is all me. This is what I'm about. This is what I do. And man, I just look forward to a great ride. I'm not backing off. I'm not walking away. I'm not going to turn my back. For 5, 6 years or so, I've been quiet about this. You guys continue to go without my consent, document my material, using it film after film after film. Man, hey, enough is enough, man. Now it's time for us to get down to serious business. We got to do what we got to do. So if need be, showing my comparison list and showing clips for your film to let the whole wide world know where you all got this from, that's what I'm going to do. And after I submit my documentation, be it the sponsors, the CEOs, people that are backing Universal, people conducting business, whether you're business partners, whatever the case may be, I ask that you will withdraw your business. I ask the whole wide world, do not go and support this film. I believe it's coming out this month, April 29th. As a matter of fact, that's sometime within a week or so away. Again, I beg of you all, do not go and support that film. I'm going to show you the real deal. But as of right now, hey, this is where we are. Universal, you on the other hand, I understand sometimes the people upstairs may not know what the people are doing downstairs. And if that's the case, then you need to go downstairs and you need to get your little badass kids because they stole from me. And as a result in doing so, you're now in possession of a multi-billion-dollar film franchise that does not belong to you. I want my word back. This is all me. So therefore, we need to set something up. We need to have a multi-billion-dollar conversation regarding you cutting me a multi-billion-dollar check, period. I'm not walking away. Again, I'm not going away. We're going to deal with this thing, and I'm going to continue to expose you. I hold copyright documents. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you my copyright date as well as Universal's copyright date, and you'll see that my date precedes theirs. We're talking about what, 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years? That's just copyright date. I have other documents that will back me much further than that, you know, much ahead of Universal's copyright dates. But again, hey, this is all a conspiracy. You saw the celebrity justice footage, and that's the real deal. Universal got Vin Diesel in a Dodge Charger thinking he fast. Man, put him in that car. You think it's fast? Man, I'll hit your ass with a 6-second pass. 238 miles an hour, Doc. This is what we do. That's the way I ride. Me, my boys and I, our crew, man, that's what we do. Pick a number, 5, 6, 7 seconds. That orange and white Camaro, you want to see my get down? Oh, homie, I'll show you my get up. This is what we do. See, I'm not that actor, somebody just fronting or saying some lines. Man, hey, I'm a street racer. This is what I do. At the age of 8, 9, 10 years old, my father, he taught my brothers and I the auto mechanics trade. 8, 9, 10 years old. And another reason why this is so hitting home with me, I mean, just rips my heart out, is because of the fact, years ago, we set up a little Hot Wheel, well, it wasn't Hot Wheel track, it was a Tyco electric race set. All my friends, all of us, we would all put our tracks together and we'd make a long straightaway and we would all race. Well, on this particular day, as we're racing, I'll never forget, I'm racing my little brother. And his car jumped way out ahead of me, and I caught him, I barely beat him just at the end. And I remember jumping up with all that excitement, thinking about, you know, speaking to my little brother and the whole neighborhood. We're all laughing, talking about how I got him and how my little slot car was fast, this, that, and the other. Then all of a sudden there's a yell, and it was my mother calling me to come upstairs, me and my brothers. Ray, Tony, Beanie, come upstairs, I need to talk to you. Now mind you, we just got through racing on our slot car track. And when we get upstairs, my mother called us in her room, and set us at the foot of her bed. And then that's when she passed on to my brothers and I that our father had just died, had just passed away. And all my dad ever wanted to do was to give his family something, leave something behind. Well, guess what he did? He left a franchise, a multi-billion-dollar film franchise behind, because I wrote a feature film script entitled Bet, based on our family life history. More so my dad being a street racer, my mother, father being a street racer. So man, is that not something to think about? My dad passed away, and the way I find out is right after a race on the slot car track. Come on, man. What if something happened to you guys? Some of your sponsors or somebody else, maybe your kid, granddaughter, a sibling, remember something that you did and they grew up with them, and then they write a feature film script about it, only to be ripped off by a corporation like Universal. Man, come on, dude. Bruh, that's bad business, man. Man up, you know you stole from me. Cut me my check. I don't ever want to see another Fast and the Furious. And go your way. Again, this is not the last you're going to hear from me. I'm going to continue to expose you. I'll put it out. You're lying to your family and friends. Got everybody thinking, you know, I'm the writer, the creator of this work. I did this, I did that. Man, dude, you're liars. You're thieves.